Good morning, evening, book lovers. It is I, the blue-eyed black devil, and I am back with another video. You didn't see this one coming, did you? 'Cause I did. Okay, come on in so we can discuss. Hello, book lovers. This is the blue-eyed black devil. Welcome back to the channel. Visitors, if you happen upon the channel, feel free to join us. We would love to have you here. Hello. Welcome back to the channel, book lovers. I am your host, Blue-Eyed Black Devil, and guess what? I am here with another installment of About the Author. Yes, about the author. I'm slowly finding my way back to what I enjoy about this, doing this YouTube channel, my reading and such. So, on the last video I posted, I told you that I would let you know what book I decided to read. Well, I'm still undecided. So I decided to go back and revisit some videos that I posted 4 years ago. And I'm just going to go through and I'm probably going to revamp some of those. And I will post those while I am in the process of either reading a book or uploading. Compiling my notes is what I'm trying to say. So it won't be a whole lot of these. It's just that if I feel like it's taking me too long, I need to keep my name in the algorithm. So this is what I have decided to do. So I'm going to call this new feature, I'm going to call it... It's going to be the title of the book and the word revisited. So, like, if I read The Cat in the Hat, this will be The Cat in the Hat Revisited. So, that's what I think I'm going to do. So, in the meantime, by the time I get a video uploaded, I'll be on there. I am going to tell you up front and honest. The first one I'm going to revisit is The Help. And I decided, well, since I am going to revisit that book, why don't I just use her as my About the Author? And so that's what this video is. It's all about Miss Kathryn Stockett, the author of the book The Help. Now, if you didn't know who Kathryn Stockett was before you came across my video, rest assured you landed in the right place. Now, who is Kathryn Stockett? I know you're probably asking yourself. Well, she is a best-selling New York Times author of the book The Help. This book was released in 2009, and it remained on the bestsellers list for over 100 consecutive weeks. And although this book was released 14 years ago, sales for the book are still going strong. That's just how much this book has resonated with a lot of its readers. Now, the youngest of 3 children, Kathryn Stockett, was born in 1969 in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, there's some sketchy things right there about her. She didn't or doesn't. There's no mention. I couldn't find anywhere for the month and the day of her birth year. It just says 1969. She has an older sister, Susan, and a brother, Rob. Now, Rob and Susan are quite a bit older than Kathryn, although she did not give their ages. Now, because she was so much younger than them, I believe, I'm pretty sure they all get along and probably always have gotten along, but growing up, they didn't always play together because Susan and Rob were so much older. I believe that Susan and Rob are closer in age than Rob is to Kathryn. And you know, if he's the middle child, then Susan is even further apart from Kathryn in age than Rob is. So she says that, well, first of all, Kathryn grew up with the help. She grew up with a maid. I know she didn't say anything about like servants and cooks and butlers and all of that, but she most definitely grew up with a black maid. Their maid's name was Dimitri, and Dimitri was with them until she passed. When she passed, Kathryn was 16. Now, not only do we not know the month and day that Kathryn was born in 1969, we don't really know anything about her parents, except I know that if they could afford help, then they had to have some pretty, they probably were like middle to upper class, just in terms of their socioeconomic status. That's probably where they were in life. Now, I don't know what type work her parents did. She just said that her dad was, I do believe, let me say this first, I believe that her dad was the breadwinner. However, her mother was absent from the home a lot. She was always out of town on business, but Kathryn didn't say necessarily what it was. She just said that when her mother would be gone for extended periods of time, it was always Dimitri there to console her. She was the one who instilled in them that they were smart, they were kind, and they were important. All of that was taught to them at Dimitri's knee. And so she said, her siblings, they would play, but then with her, but then they would play things like she talked about one time. They were all out of town doing something, the whole family, Dimitri, everybody, but said that her older brother and sister were playing poker. She couldn't play poker. They were using straws for money. And so Kathryn just begged to play, and they let her play. Well, she lost all of her straws and stuff, and they continued playing. Then they went on to play with something else. Whenever she was done playing poker, she would just end up with Dimitri. Dimitri consoled her a lot, just reassuring her that she was loved and safe. And you are smart, you are kind, and you are important. She said that was definitely instilled within her. She took the role of a loving parent. Now, listen, she didn't really talk about any other relationships other than hers with Dimitri. She did say that Dimitri, in real life, did not have any children, but when asked how many children she had, she would always say 3, because she considered Kathryn, Susan, and Rob to be her children. She was she was just always there. She seemed to fill voids whenever needed, especially if the parents were not around. Now, I don't know what type of a relationship she had with her father, but I do know, well, no, I don't know it. I believe, I don't know, because Kathryn never said this, and I didn't see this anywhere else either. But I do believe that there was, hopefully was, the relationship between Kathryn and her mother was strained for a period of time. I do hope that it was. Number one, I hope that the mother is still here with us. And if she is still living, I do hope that if there ever was a strain between she and her mother, that they have mended and repaired it, and now they can live life as, mother and daughter, adult daughter, so to speak. Yes, now the book, The Help, Kathryn says that it is loosely based on her life, but let me tell you, there is a section at the end of the book, and it's entitled Too Little, Too Late. This section may only be about, 5, maybe 6 minutes long, if that. But the reason I'm mentioning this in this about the author is because those 5 or 6 minutes, I learned more about Kathryn Stockett, the person, the woman, than I ever could glean from the book. And there are a lot of similarities between Kathryn and Dimitri, and, well, just say real life Kathryn Stockett and real life maid Dimitri, and then the 3 characters of the book. And when I get ready to redo the video for that, I'm going to discuss each of those similarities and differences. But yes, this book, the period that this book was written in was in the 1960s, to be exact, 1962 through 1964. And you would have to be living up under a couple of rocks, a couple of them, not to know that the decade of the 60s, both the Civil Rights Movement and the KKK, or Ku Klux Klan, were in their heyday. They were in the thick of it all. And then, not to mention that this is a white girl who was raised in the American South during all of this, a white girl of privilege in the American South being raised during this time. Try to hold on to that thought when you watch my remake of that video. Also, I'm going to say this, and then I think I've said all I can say about Miss Kathryn Stockett. Oh, I got a few more things. Now, I just said Kathryn was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi in 1969. Upon graduating high school, she then enrolled and graduated from the University of Alabama with a degree in English and creative writing. Now, at the time that I posted the first video about the book, The Help, Kathryn Stockett was married, and she was living in New York City. They had 1 child together. Well, since all of that happened, she is now divorced, and she still just has the 1 child. Now, I don't know if she met her husband somewhere in Mississippi, Alabama, or what. Or if she met him after she relocated to New York. And I don't know if she was in New York when they got a divorce. Then also, when she was in New York, she worked for 9 years in the magazine and marketing publishing companies throughout that she did that. And then somewhere along the way, I don't know if she relocated back to Atlanta for work or if she just wanted to come back closer to home. But currently, she does reside in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is what I was about to say. Then I remembered to tell you that other stuff. Whatever it is you ever aspire to in life, please do not let go or give up. Kathryn says that when she wrote that book and she sent it out to different publishers, the first rejection letter she received, she was so excited. She was just, she said she was really excited because, yes, she knows if you're in the entertainment business, you're going to get rejected way more times than you'll be accepted. So she also felt like that rejection kind of gave her some sort of insight into what she needed to improve upon. At the end of the day, she received 60 rejection letters before she received, over a course of 5 years at that. 5 years worth of rejection letters that totaled 60. It was the 61st letter where she was finally given an offer to write the book and send it in. And she said some of the things people were saying when they were rejecting her would be stuff like, maybe you need to develop this particular character or not spend so much time on this or that or the other. But one of them, somebody just finally said, I'm just simply not interested in this story at all. She said at the time, her then husband, people would ask him sometimes, what is her best trait? And he would always say, she never gives up. And then, the next question will be, well, what do you consider her worst trait? He said, she will not give up. In other words, it's like, let it go already, move on. She said she did work. It's just that her dream was to always write. So she wrote on the side, but I guess at some point people felt like she was giving that book way more attention than it needed. Get your head out of the clouds or whatever. But she didn't give up. And I'm pretty sure he was glad, her husband, that is, ex-husband, he was glad that she didn't give up because he was there to reap the benefits when it did become a monster hit. So, never give up on your dreams, no matter the age. So, this is all I have to say. This completes my About the Author, Miss Kathryn Stockett. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope my whole reason for doing these is to tell us a little bit, to learn things outside of the pages that we otherwise wouldn't know. And if that makes me nosy, then okay, I'm nosy. But yeah, that's what it is. Because sometimes, in books, sometimes characters can be, we feel like we can write a better character or a better description of a character with our eyes closed and hands tied behind our backs because we evidently, maybe we have lived something similar to whatever it is being written about. But then there are more times when I'm like, man, you cannot make this stuff up. When I have that thought, it's usually something I've read by V.C. Andrews, Stephen King, somebody else, Mary Monroe. I have a lot of them, and I'm hoping to add Kathryn Stockett to that list. I just wanted to grow because I really realized that that's where the true talent is when you can write stuff that I think can only be made up. I mean, cannot be made up. And actually, yes, it can. I just evidently wasn't around people who knew how to craft it. So, anyway, subscribers, especially my day ones and my last ones, thank you so much for being subscribed to my channel. Don't forget to like and or share. Visitors, I'm reaching out to you and I am welcoming you to join the channel. We would really love to have you here. We really do have fun, I think, and we learn from each other. I know I learn from you all. And by the way you comment, I think that you get where I'm coming from and you learn from me too. So that's a win-win combination. And whatever you do, should you honor me by leaving a comment, please do so respectfully. I hope you will leave a comment. And by all means, please be sure to turn your notification bells on so you will know each and every time I upload a video. I know I've been slack the last couple of months, so I can't blame it all on YouTube. If you don't see me, that probably is because I haven't been saying or doing anything lately. But if you notice you haven't seen anything from me in about a month's time, just search Blue-Eyed Black Devil. I'm still here on YouTube, just in case, for whatever reason I'm not coming across in the algorithm. I'm here. I'll let you know should I decide to shut down. And in the meantime, bookers, book lovers, and bookettes alike, thanks for watching and or listening. Be careful, be safe, and remember this: as long as there are books around, there is always something to read. And until we read again, book lovers, be safe and God bless.